Hey, thanks for stopping by Mystic Messages. Today's divinely inspired message is for those who resonate with being a light worker or a chosen one. Uh, this is a message directly from the divine, specifically for those who are before me today who are feeling uh, the continued stress of this journey. For an example, this is the fourth time I tried to do this video today. I have been interrupted by phone calls, noises, computer not working. So obviously, this message was deliberately being postponed by some unseen forces because they don't want this message to get through. However, I pushed through it, and I'm going to get the message through because it obviously needs to be heard. Again, this is specifically for those who are light workers or chosen ones. And for those who may not understand the terminology, this doesn't mean those who are above anyone or special from everyone else. These people were specifically chosen by the divine and the universe for a specific duty in today's world at this specific time. Uh, each individual has their own purpose to fulfill, and each duty is unique, and hopefully our work will help inspire and enlighten others and bring us towards the utopia that we can have when we work together for the good of all and defeat the darkness that is all around. And that is only done through truth, hard work, and love. And together we can do it. Okay. There's people that I'm talking to right now who are at the end of their rope, kind of like how I was today, for trying to get this message out. And you're feeling like, what's the purpose of all this? Nothing's working. Nothing seems to be right. Keep in mind that that adversity is not coming from the divine. It's coming from the forces that don't want us to get our work done. However, we will defeat those as well by pushing forward and remembering who we are, remembering what your purpose is. Okay. Our lives might have not have seemed special. Starting with mine, I grew up in a witnessing domestic violence. I was very sick as a child. I was widowed by the love of my life at 35. Uh, I lost a counseling job that I loved very much because uh, I refused to back down or compromise my integrity for the hospital higher ups. Um, I had a house fire, and those are just the sidelines of what my life was. And those of you who are chosen, such as myself, know that this road isn't easy. Those are a few of the small adversities that I got through. And even though at the time they looked like punishments from God, or so I thought, and felt like, why does this keep happening to me? I keep trying to do good things, and bad keeps falling on top of me. I didn't realize that there was a lot more adversity behind the scenes that I didn't understand that was going on. I knew that I was psychic as a child, and that was another catastrophe all of its own. Growing up in my house, you didn't talk about those things; they didn't exist. It was your imagination. Whatever spiriting out, activity I encountered was dismissed, and that's all fine and good. All these things, again, uh, work together into making the person who I am today. I don't feel like if I didn't go through all those things, I would be able to be speaking to you today because this is something I thought I would never do. However, this is what I was divinely inspired to do, which is spread messages of truth to hopefully enlighten and bring people along the path while encouraging and giving people strength who are on this journey along with myself to help make the days a little easier, even when they seem dark. Because at the end, everything will come to pass and all truth will be seen. And you have to really keep that faith, as hard as that is. And I know it's hard. But just keep the faith, and whatever it is you communicate with, whether you call that source, the divine, God, Jesus, Buddha, it doesn't matter. All these work together as one. They are all one spirit, and they all, have a job to do in the unseen parts of our universe. And those of us who were chosen to work alongside them are actually privileged, even though our lives may seem burdened. You know, we have to just keep pushing in the face of adversity and trusting. Trusting is the hardest thing to do. Yeah, and that was one of the hardest things for me to do, just to trust blindly, because after all this stuff that we experience, it's very difficult for us to trust. You know, and that's part of what it is when you're working with the unseen world. And there is great benefit to that trust, but as human beings, it's very difficult for us to let go to an unseen force, because we were taught for years, whether through our family backgrounds or religion, that the spiritual world only exists in a certain way, or that God punished people, or that evil doesn't exist. None of this is true, unfortunately. You know, when you talk about people say evil and curses don't exist. Untrue. Uh, and they can harm you, unfortunately. But it is being strong enough and having your faith to get you through those times when the evilness out there wants to infiltrate your life. Keep faith. I know a lot of you are out there struggling right now on this journey. It's not an easy journey. And you feel like, what is this all for? I can say from my own experience, it will get better, and you will understand, and things will become more clear when you learn to take time out for your daily meditative practice and listen for the voice of the divine, asking for the guidance, asking to be shown. And you'd be surprised how many ways the divine responds. And not in the way that you think, because it doesn't happen like some kind of biblical event where God's voice is coming out of the sky or a burning bush or something extravagant. These are silent feelings from within you. Everyone has the ability to communicate with the divine. It's about finding that voice, and that takes time, practice, patience, love, understanding, openness, and a willingness to do what you're being asked to do. For instance, I was being asked to create these videos, or not in the way that most people would be asked. It was more of a feeling that was inside. I was divinely inspired to create these videos because I was getting the sense from the divine that these videos were important for me to be doing as part of my job. Okay. Now, if you noticed, my videos, believe it or not, have improved, which I thought was impossible because I'm a writer, I'm not a public speaker. But through God's help and through my faith, I'm getting there. And I'm actually happy about that. And I'm actually happy with you guys because I could at least make these a little more entertaining for you. And I'm able to speak a little bit more on the subject matter that I thought I wouldn't be able to do, but I kept getting told, "You're ready, go do it." And I had to follow that prompting. And after I did that, uh, this has become easier for me and actually something that I like to do. Not because I'm looking to be famous anyway, because I'm not. I'm a very private person in a lot of respects. But because I have this undeniable calling of a message that needs to get out there for those who are willing to hear. Now, not everybody's going to want to hear these messages or believe in them, and that's fine. It's not for them. We have to remember, although we have a job to do, we can't take everyone with us, unfortunately. And that's why this path, it causes us to have to leave relationships that we've known for years because they're just not able to come where we're going. And that could be sad and difficult. But it's very important to understand that through this process, we're not going to be able to take everyone with us. And we won't want to. But in the end result, if you truly believe and feel it within your heart and you trust, will be better than you could have ever possibly imagined. Because it will open up a space for us all to meet like minded individuals on this path. People that aren't going to harm you, people that aren't going to lie to you. Now, that's not to say that there aren't people who are, doing this type of work because they feel that it's profitable in some way. And those people won't succeed because this is not about profit. This is about helping to make the world a better place, you know. And like I said it before, all religions that, demand that people pay certain money in order to gain favor with God, that should tell you right there that that's not the real thing and it's not from God. All those who pretend to love Jesus and follow Jesus and wear crosses and yet they don't speak in the face of adversity. They quietly discriminate against people who they may not agree with. They condemn people to hell. I mean, it's crazy when you think about it. It's really, really insane. Well, the Catholic Church, for instance, which is one of my favorites because I did 13 years of Catholic school, and it never made sense to me why I needed an interpreter to speak to God for me when it wasn't necessary. I was brought up to believe that you told a priest in a confessional all your secrets and things that you did as if though these were perfect people and to find out that they weren't. Many of the teachers that I had turned out on the sexual abuse list. The stories that many nuns want to say didn't exist, the child abuse that took place in school, was real. It was real. I grew up in the Bronx in the inner city schools. I had nuns as teachers, and they beat us on a daily basis. And today they deny all that. But those are all true facts. And I always wondered, how was this of God or from God? Anyone that doesn't show you through example, anyone that tries to force you to believe in their religion is not of God. You know, as I said prior, nobody is forced to believe what I'm saying. This is totally designed for those who understand. I purposely don't edit these because I want them to come out as is. Or I should say, I was directed for them to come out as is, as imperfect as they are. And I'll continue to do so because I see within myself that things are getting better. And if I can share that proof with just one person out there to help guide them to a better path, I'm happy to do so. Okay? I want to thank you for stopping by and hopefully see you soon. Take care.